Welcome back to my channel and to another movie review. It isn't Christmas, but that doesn't mean you can't have a Christmas tree up, I guess, right? Today we are talking about All of Us Strangers. All of Us Strangers is directed by Andrew Haigh. It stars Andrew Scott, Paul Mescal, Claire Foy, and Jamie Bell. Based on a Japanese novel, this is about a lonely screenwriter who is reconciling with his past as he tries to construct a new screenplay and maybe a romance? I really don't want to spoil this film at all, so I will try to be as vague as I can about the plot details. First and foremost, what stands out about this film are the performances. Every one of the primary cast members here are fantastic. They are amazing. It's difficult for me to say which of them was a standout here because they were all so great. But of course, Andrew Scott, who you may know as the priest from Fleabag, is astonishing. He shows deep vulnerability as he interacts with the other cast members, especially between him and Claire Foy's character, as well as Paul Mescal's character, who also lives in this seemingly empty apartment building. The dynamics between these characters and the way they develop their relationships feel so extremely real. I bought into what was happening right away, even if there are some elements that make you question whether or not what we are seeing is real or fantasy. The film is just deeply rooted in the sincerity of its emotion. We feel the link of years of tenderness and love between the characters of Claire Foy and Jamie Bell and their characters' relationship to Andrew Scott's character. Additionally, the chemistry between Andrew Scott and Paul Mescal is unreal. Fireworks were flying in the intimate scenes that they shared with one another. Everyone here is clearly on board with the premise of the film and giving the characters the time of day that they deserve. The sincerity of the film just works, and the emotional ride that it takes you on is both painful and also optimistic. It clearly feels very personal. And later, I actually learned that the director did film in his childhood home for some of the pivotal scenes in the movie. I also must say that the cinematography here is gorgeous, even though it isn't this really large, sweeping, in-your-face cinematography, as it is a smaller scale story that requires us to be very close to the characters. And we, as the audience, are very much so riding on Andrew Scott's shoulders as he works through these complex emotions. This film seized me and kept me glued to the screen throughout, even though my wife and I both noticed a mouse running around the cinema about 3/4 of the way through the film, and I can say it was distracting, to say the least. Regardless, it made me feel intensely, and I was brought close to tears many times, and I am fairly certain that I would have cried had it not been for the mouse. I wouldn't say this is a sad film, but rather a dizzying ride of emotions that touches some very tragic depths while also having some delightful moments in between. We are really with this protagonist as he's working through all of these emotions, from nostalgia all the way to some moments that were actually even scary due to the psychological confusion that he ends up feeling at times. This is one of the great films of last year and tells an arresting story with great performances. But I do warn that even this isn't a sad film overall or a depressing film overall. There are some very heavy and tragic moments that would make me maybe not want to watch it if I'm feeling particularly sensitive or vulnerable. It is a film that leaves things open to interpretation and allows you to have a discussion after the fact with the people that you saw it with, but at the same time is not meant to be confusing. The emotions are clear and they are worn on its sleeve and are undeniable. This is a beautifully made film with wonderful performances that I highly recommend that you go and check out. It is definitely one of the best films of 2023 and had some of the best performances that I saw that came from last year and probably would have had some place in my favorites video of 2023. 3 had I been able to see the movie sooner. Once again, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below, what did you think about All of Us Strangers? And if you're enjoying any of the content whatsoever on my channel, whether it's this video or another one, go ahead, like and subscribe and share it with your folks, your people, your family, your friends, whoever it may be. And as always, I will see you in the next review.